Hi, I'm Dr. Rich Blana, host of the Healthy Stress Doctor podcast. In this first podcast of 2010, I'd like to focus on the relationship between stress and energy. When you're in the throes of a stress response, your body is mobilizing energy to cope with the demands of the stressor. And the first part of that response is the alarm part, the fight or flight response. During alarm, your body's mobilizing tremendous amounts of energy through tapping into all the available blood glucose, the sugar that's in your blood and that's stored in your skeletal muscles. And it's also mobilizing additional energy through the breakdown of fat and protein. And lastly, it's dumping adrenaline into your circulation to really mobilize energy to either fight that stressor or flee from it, run away from it. Now, if you do and you successfully meet the stressor head on, that alarm response shuts down and your body goes back to normal. And with a little bit of rest and relaxation, your energy levels are back and you're fine. If the stressor doesn't go away, if it's not this head-on stressor that you're going to fight or run away from, if it's a more chronic stressor, like a bad relationship or a job that you hate going to every day, well, what happens is when your body first mobilizes alarm, it realizes that you're not going to run away or fight the stressor. It's going to be there, and it can't keep up this intense alarm response for long periods of time. So after a few minutes, your body shifts out of alarm and shifts into resistance. Now, resistance, just because it's not this, intense, acute, response that you're aware of, that doesn't mean it's not harmful. Resistance is a lower level response that usually goes on initially without you even knowing it's going on, but it's also fueled by stress hormones, by sugars, by the breakdown of fat and protein. And, you have these powerful hormones like cortisol circulating in your system without you even realizing it, to mobilize energy to fight that chronic stressor. Now, what happens after a while is all this energy that's being used begins to exert some wear and tear on your body. Your body starts to wear down. And your body will send you some warning signs that you're wearing down. Some of those warning signs are emotional. You'll be a little more emotionally fragile. You'll be more susceptible to things that people say. You get a little cranky, a little bitchy, things like that. Other symptoms are muscular. Your muscles start to ache. They start to tense. You start to feel muscle pain in your lower back, your neck, your shoulders. And still other symptoms relate to just listlessness and a lack of energy. You just, sleep 10 hours a day and you still don't feel rested. You constantly just feel worn down. You lose your passion for life and living. So those are just some of the warning signs that your body is under, in the throes of resistance and it's beginning to wear you down. Now, you can use those warning signs productively if you're aware of them. And in my current newsletter, the Stress Buster tip that I give you this month teaches you how to become more mindful of the signs of the stress response so you can then take that as a warning and start to do something about it before that resistance phase of the stress response carries any further and actually goes into exhaustion. What you really want to do is stop the stress response as soon as you're aware of the fact that you're being stressed. So if you go to my website, healthystressdoctor.com, and you read the current newsletter, I'll also have this podcast archived there. And it'll give you a little more information. For the rest of 2010, I'm going to focus on coping. I'm really going to start teaching you how to cope with your stress. So I look forward to seeing you next month and having you listen in on next month's podcast. And as soon as you get a chance, go to my website and click on the newsletter and read it. I'll see you next month.